You know what? This is the very few times that you'll hear me talk shit about people. Usually I reserve prejudice, upon those who I know, are guilty of something beyond a reasonable doubt. But, man, oh man, this guy he is something else. And to see how he is just transformed over the years into this nice, sweet young man, into this big piece of shit just for views, just shows that the generation gaps are further than what I even thought. So if you guys aren't familiar with Mukbang, today would have been a good example. Nathan's hot dog eating contest where Joey Chestnut won, gosh, for the 22nd time or something like that. It's about consuming large quantities of very unhealthy food. And why people like watching it, I have no clue. I know there's some of a young woman who just like chows down on raw seafood, like cut octopus legs that are still kind of moving, that she bites and are sticking to her throat, and she's swallowing it down and dipping it in all the sauce and saying how good it is. And I'm like, to each their own. But I mean, what this dude has done has gone beyond anything I've seen anyone else do. So when you see him as a young man to what he is now, not only did his appearance change, but his attitude. And he is totally a piece of shit. So without further ado, look at this tragic, tragic story.
Let's make some mac and cheese. Here we go. I have gained weight, and I don't even know why. You guys know my weight's been spiraling out of control because my life is a disaster. There's no cure.
This food's right in your brain. I miss the old Nick. Yada 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 yada. Yada 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 yada. TikTok.
Approximately 2 weeks ago, while sitting in his $2.3 million penthouse apartment, Nicarando Avocado would upload a video weighing himself to his channel with over 2.5 million subscribers.
352.4 pounds. 352. I think not.
His weight of 352 pounds is in stark contrast to his beginning weight of between 150 and 160 pounds.
When I started mukbangs, I was 150 pounds, maybe 160. Can't really remember.
When he was a modest vegan living a fairly simple life in Colombia. He'd moved there way back in 2014 after meeting his then boyfriend Orlin in a vegan Facebook group for men, but problematically, Nicarando Avocado didn't have much to do in Colombia, so he began to upload videos of himself to the YouTube website, playing violin and discussing the many aspects of veganism.
This is my first ever mukbang. Mukbang, mukbang, I actually don't know how to pronounce it, but anyways,
where he would state that prior to becoming a vegan, he considered himself somewhat overweight.
Most people that watch my channel know that I'm vegan. I've been vegan for almost 4 years, like another month or two would be like 4-year mark. Totally changed my life. I used to be obeso. I used to be like this.
While it was certainly a benefit that veganism helped Nicarando lose weight and was assisting him in staying thin, as he continued to maintain the vegan diet, it would go from a blessing to a curse.
I rotted a tooth. I had low B12 deficiency. I developed hypoglycemia. I don't know if it's directly related to the veganism, but I never had that before.
At a later date, Nicarando explained that being vegan had resulted in numerous immediate health issues. In addition to this, Nicarando explained that he found the 2016 online vegan community to be extremely toxic.
Why do vegans have to make everything about veganism?
That is very true. I don't know if you guys have seen her before, but she's the vegan teacher. She is an older woman, probably late 50s, mid 60s, somewhere around there. And all she does is go around preaching veganism. And she'll go to popular streamers and grade them on their, like, say they're testing out snacks or whatever, and grade them on their lack of veganism, I guess options, when the person whose, channel is trying these foods is not a vegan themselves. So she goes out, she grades them, she talks shit about them. But what a lot of vegans don't understand, and like for me, for instance, and I've said it before, I understand hunting. I just know I could not do it. I would cry, and I put it, I forgot where I had put it, but if you guys ever watched Forgetting Sarah Marshall, when the main protagonist Peter, the big Hawaiian guy, asked him, "Hey, do you want to come help us get a pig, for the pig roast?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll go." And he's like, "Oh, please don't make me do this." And, he's like, "I'm sorry." And he's crying. And the big guy's like, "You can stop crying now. He's dead." "I'm not crying. You're crying. I'm not a baby. You look like one." I've seen that movie many a times to freaking, go over it over and over again. But anyways, the point is that and this happened to Easter Island, where you see all those big mounds, the big heads. There is nothing but grass. Nothing but grass. That's it. What happened is, when you have too many of one thing, let's say you have a huge island that is just meant for cows, and you're not doing anything to keep these cows in check to slaughter them, they're going to eat all the resources off this land, off this island, wherever you may put them. And then little by little, each and every one of them are going to die off of starvation. Same thing with any other species. You put too much of one thing in one place, they're going to die off. They'll become extinct. And a lot of vegans, I think, realize that and know that. I mean, they have to in the back of their head, because I'm not, when it comes to veganism and all that, I don't know really crap about it, and I, don't intend on becoming a vegan, even though I'm very health conscious. But, it's simple. Like, I'm a Christian, so I don't really believe in evolution, in the sense that we as humans came from, as a single-celled organism, and then all of a sudden we are where we're at now. But I do believe that we do cause a lot of damage to a lot of things. I don't believe that we really cause extreme global climate change. And that's a whole nother topic for another time. The only thing I'll say is this, is that throughout the years, the Earth has always gone through its changes with or without humans. From the Ice Age to Jurassic period to the prehistoric period to when Pangea was, just one huge continent before they all drifted apart. I mean, it's not a coincidence that the Earth keeps on changing itself to accommodate what? I don't know. But I don't think we're really speeding up that process, and it's not going to happen in our lifetime. It might happen in our great-great-grandchildren's lifetime, but not our lifetime. But the point is that they miss the mark when they don't realize that if you do not keep, the chickens in check, then whatever the chickens prey on are gonna cause the chickens to become extinct because there's nothing for them to prey on. Seeds, usually. Are they omnivore? Omnivorous? I'm not sure. But, you know, birds, you know, hawks. You take away the fish in the surrounding water, you know, they become extinct. And that's exactly what happened on Easter Island, is that they used up so many resources in such a short amount of time that it is absolutely barren of anything besides the grass. You know, there's no trees, there's no, you know, fruits or vegetables growing from the ground. There is absolutely, I mean, it's decimated besides those beautiful statues. And it's because there was no checks and balances. So hopefully vegans will get that in the top, you know, get that in their mind. And what he's saying is true at this part. About one of the few times I'll agree with him.
Why? There's so much more to life than veganism.
And as a result, he ended up renouncing.
Oh crap. What am I doing here? Sorry guys.
I thought it was the wrong.
Leaving
There's so much made.
the online vegan community to be extremely toxic.
Why do vegans have to make everything about veganism? Why? There's so much more to life than veganism.
And as a result, he ended up renouncing his vegan status and leaving the community of vegan YouTubers.
No other community have I ever seen it like this. I thought it was the raw vegans, but it's just vegans in general on YouTube. I gotta leave, you guys.
After a 1-month break, the first of many non-vegan mukbang videos would show up on the Nicarando Avocado channel, and while he had made the decision to begin eating meat, he would still maintain a relatively clean diet, often inclusive of vegetables and rice.
1 red onion, carrots, minus that green one, which we don't use, broccoli, cauliflower, fresh peas.
Nicarando Avocado stuck out like a sore thumb as a mukbanger, because in the beginning, the video type was almost entirely dominated by females. Additionally, Nicarando would almost always have his pet parrot sit on his shoulder while he ate, the absurdity of which assisting him in standing out from the crowd. When discussing his first mukbang video, Nicarando Avocado would state, "My very first mukbang got like 50,000 views in a couple of weeks, which was a lot for me at the time, and everyone was asking, when's the next mukbang, which ultimately resulted in the continuation of the series. However, as mukbangs became the dominant video type on his channel, his weight would begin to steadily increase. In The Psychology of Mukbang Watching, published in January 2020, the study found that the viewer's vicarious pleasure demanded a large quantity of unhealthy food to be consumed. And from a relatively uninformed outsider's perspective, the meta seems to be the bigger the better. No one wants to spend 2 minutes watching someone eat a bowl of cereal. The most popular videos go for more than half an hour and include ridiculously oversized portions, the reason for which being because it creates connection and possibly even a guilt-free environment, seeing other people eat very large portions of unhealthy food messily and open to public. For this reason, Nicarando Avocado began to eat more and more in every single video posted to the channel.
There's 45 here. We're gonna see how many we can eat. So, here we go. Let's start.
In addition to this, he would begin to swap out many of the clean, relatively healthy meals in exchange for fast food, seen in examples such as ex-vegan eats burger for the first time in 10 years, which was followed by 3 other fast food mukbangs and a 10,000 calorie challenge. 7 months after switching to full-time mukbang videos, Nicarando Avocado seemed to...
So think about this. The Rock consumes 12,000 calories a day, but what he's consuming are empty calories. Not The Rock, but this Nicarando guy. None of it is doing anything for him, for his health. And of course, he's not lifting weights and, you know, roiding out. And The Rock is. And he has to keep up that diet, because they said to try to keep up with how much The Rock eats is just insane. But you need to have that much food to continue to grow. And that dude he's a beast, man.
Naively believed that he had maintained his original weight of 160 pounds. However, while doing a mukbang at the Heart Attack Grill in Las Vegas, Nicarando Avocado would step on their scale, at which point he would be confronted with reality.
So let's see how much I weigh. I don't even know. I think 160, maybe 160. Weigh yourself here. So we're gonna step right up.
That has to be wrong. You guys, I'm 200 pounds.
When revisiting the article discussing the psychology of mukbang watching, the authors also claim that mukbang videos affect viewers' perception of food consumption and thinness because mukbangers who are very thin and slim consumed very large portions of food and did not gain weight, which is without a doubt the spell that Nicarando Avocado had found himself under. Being a naturally skinny guy who had seen others doing large mukbangs without gaining any weight might have convinced him that he was immune to growing his very own large beer belly. But when you're at the point of eating 10,000 calorie meals for your channel, your quote-unquote fast metabolism isn't going to be there to save you. The problem was that rather than seeing this as a genuine issue and an indication that he might want to slow down on the insane portion sizes, Nicarando Avocado would simply integrate it into his content with the goal of gaining more views. He would upload 2 videos shortly after becoming conscious of his weight, stating, "I'm getting fat and I don't know why," as well as "say hello to my double chin," where he would unironically state that he thought it was just stress or water weight and that food wasn't the problem.
I'm praying that this is just water weight. That this is water weight and it comes off in like a week of just not being so stressed. Because stress is our #1 killer. That's not our #1 killer. Chips? No. Our #1 killer is stress.
Also believing that his weight gain was some kind of medical mystery.
There is a medical mystery going on. There is something chemically imbalanced in me. I should probably go get my thyroid checked.
Which were both pathetic justifications for the reality, being that he was simply eating too much food. Nicarando Avocado concluded the video by stating,
"You better enjoy it while it lasts, because I tell you, it will not last. I'm gonna find a way to lose this weight."
However, with the same diet, the mindset that it was stress or water weight or a medical mystery, and yet another 10,000 calorie challenge only 3 videos later, obviously the weight gain continued. But it wasn't only his weight that was causing him health problems. Nicarando Avocado would upload a video simply titled "I'm too scared to go to the hospital," which in true nature of the 2017 YouTube algorithm would gain a whopping 21 million views. Not only did this video further assist in making Nicarando Avocado somewhat of a household name, but it also showed him that drama and talking about subjects other than mukbanging would still garner an audience as long as they involve drama.
So if you're following along, just absolutely sickening that he goes from that to where he's at now. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to pause it real quick because I was trying to look for some batteries. All of a sudden, every single battery from my remote went missing. And I have no idea why. Huh. I gotta try something real quick. Bear with me. Oh, shit. Ah, shit. Okay, here we go. Let's get this going.
Avocado would create a playlist or channel subsection literally titled Upset Feelings, where dramatic videos displaying the apparent problems he was having, such as specific arguments with his boyfriend, often gained substantial view counts. Nicarando Avocado uploaded videos such as What My Husband Did to Me and I'm Getting Deported, stating later that whenever he found himself in a bad mood, his first natural inclination was to grab the camera.
Everyone already hates me, or I'm already dramatic, let me just grab the camera and just like film it. So some of them are like really real for me.
Filming his low points became a regular occurrence on the Nicarando Avocado channel, which unfortunately included his continual weight gain. 12 months had passed since his last 206-pound weigh-in at the Heart Attack Grill, but it was visually clear that he was now substantially heavier. So when asked about his weight in a mukbang Q&A, the result was certainly anticipated.
How much do you weigh now?
Still not my commercial, damn it. Alright, showing Colorado though. Maybe there's some hope. Let's see here. I'll let this one breathe. Come on.
Did
Nope.
you know that if you live in
Not it.
America for the next few days, you'll be able to get a complete solar system from our...
Well, do you want to go? Should I weigh myself in front of you? I'm gonna go get the scale. Last time I checked, it was like 268. It was almost 270, pretty much.
268 pounds. Nicarando Avocado was 110 pounds heavier than he had been at the start, a weight gain equivalent to the size of an average adult leopard. If he were to add another 50 pounds to that, his body weight would have doubled since the beginning. However,
average
Nicarando
of what?
268 pounds. Nicarando Avocado was 110 pounds heavier than he had been at the start, a weight gain equivalent to the size of an average adult leopard. If he were to add another 50 pounds to that, his body weight would have doubled since the beginning. However, Nicarando was positive that he would never cross the 300-pound mark, and if he did, he guaranteed everyone that he would officially make a change.
I don't think I will ever be 300. If I am, trust me, we can make major changes.
However, Nicarando Avocado hadn't changed his eating habits whatsoever and would simply continue eating larger and larger quantities, justifying his awful diet and overeating by stating that his body had some arbitrary stopping point where he apparently knew when he was eating too much.
My body seems very comfortable eating the amount I do. Has a very strong stopping point, and if I overstuff, I notice I don't get hungry until later in the next day.
Which was obviously once again just another lie he told himself to deal with the reality of his own situation. To assist with his mukbangs as his weight grew, Nicarando Avocado would also purchase a chair rated to hold a person who weighed up to 400 pounds.
I got the chair for 400-pound people because I said, okay, it's gonna hold. If it's holding up big people, it's gonna hold me up, definitely.
And Nicarando Avocado was certainly going to need this seat, as less than 12 months after claiming he'd never get to 300 pounds, he'd upload a video titled, "I'm 299.9 pounds, will I finally reach 300 after this meal?" This video not only showed that all of Nicarando Avocado's previous claims about water weight, stress, diet, understanding his body, etc., were completely wrong, but it also revealed a much darker reality. He had accepted his size and saw his weight as a joke, even going so far as to say that he now wanted to hit 300 pounds.
294.2 pounds.
What? Why am I losing weight? Why can't I hit 300?
In the process, Nicarando Avocado had done the actual calculations on how long it would take for him to get back to his starting weight.
Let's do some math. How long is it going to take me to lose my weight? If I have to lose 120 pounds, and I have to do 5 pounds a month, let's do 120 divided by 5. How many? 2 years? That's 24. I have to lose weight for 2 years. I'm just not gonna do it. How about that? How about I feel so much better?
Concluding that he had passed a point of no return, and it was better for him to embrace his weight for the views as opposed to going to the effort of losing it.
I'm fat and I don't care anymore. I want to get to 300, and then 400, and then 500, and then 600. I'm in the one who's like, who cares now? Too late. I ain't going back.
This unsurprisingly caused further complications in his relationship.
Discrimination! No one discriminates that thing. Out my way. So what's next? The car's fat phobic? Is the car fat phobic?
Shh. In an interview with Men's Health, Nicarando explained that, unsurprisingly, his sex life had taken a hit after becoming a mukbanger. Additionally, the amount of videos in which Nicarando and Orlan argued or broke up or fought publicly increased substantially.
You're the worst thing that ever happened to me.
That's okay with me. I'll sleep just fine tonight for that notion.
I used to be so happy without you. You were such a mistake.
However, despite the monstrous weight gain and crumbling relationship, it was likely difficult to change his behavior as, from a financial perspective, his bank account was skyrocketing.
You know, I sit up here in my tower and watch everyone struggle and be poor. It's so entertaining. I love watching poor people. They struggle. Oh, I just need popcorn. I could sit here and watch them struggle all day.
Nicarando Avocado would announce that he'd purchased a $2.3 million penthouse apartment in Las Vegas after adding yet another 50 pounds to his body weight.
Finding chairs that could hold my size was such a nightmare because I'm 350 almost.
A comment on the video stating, "Enjoy your house, bro, you got not much time left," perfectly encapsulates the conundrum of Nicarando Avocado. It sums up the dilemma that Nicarando Avocado has found himself in, being the exchange of health for money, or on an even deeper level, the exchange of health for meaning. Sure, Nicarando Avocado could quit doing mukbangs tomorrow. He'd probably lose a bunch of weight considering his weight gain is anchored to the work, but really, what's he gonna do? Go back to busking with a violin in New York City? It's not really realistic. Yet, equally equally unrealistic is the idea that he can continue to mukbang every day without it eventually resulting in something that would take him out of the game altogether.
Starting an online store is easier than you think. Let me show you how to quickly open one with Shopify. First, go to Shopify.
Jeepers creepers! Oh. I'm calling the corporate, and I'm gonna tell this YouTube corporate that they need to say something to these penguin fans!
I know my audience merely consists of good people, so I'm not too worried, but I just wanted to say, please do not go and leave hate comments on this person's videos. YouTube can be a great place. There's endless hours of entertainment and education. But if you watch some of Nick Crowley's videos, then you'll know that there are some channels that can be rather dark and eerie. The YouTuber known as Nicarando Avocado has been creating content for well over 5 years now. His real name is Nick Perry, and as of now, he is 29 years old. He started off his YouTube career as a vegan YouTuber and a professional violinist, but now he exclusively creates mukbang videos where he consumes excessive quantities of unhealthy foods on pretty much a daily basis. If you're unfamiliar as to what a mukbang is, it is basically where people consume food on camera. Nick has a number of channels. He has his main channel, Nicarando Avocado, Nicarando Avocado 2, Nicarando Avocado 3, more Nicarando, Nicarando Shorts, and Noodle King. His channels have seen some decent growth recently, in part due to people starting to see his transformation as no longer a joke, but of something of great concern. As I said at the start, he started off as a vegan YouTuber who ate predominantly raw fruits and vegetables. He then began eating animal products for his own reasons. If you look back around 4 to 5 years ago, Nick appeared to be in a healthy weight range, and he seemed to be a genuine and nice person. In my opinion, his persona was very likable. I'm not too much of a fan of the mukbang kind of content, but it seemed like his personality was perfect for that genre. He was sometimes accompanied with his parrot or his boyfriend, and I can see why people would enjoy watching him. In one of the very first videos he made, he speaks about his passion for doing mukbang videos to show off how you can make healthy foods that also taste good and fill you up. Then shortly after, he begins to make videos eating from various famous fast food chains. As time progressed, he gained more and more weight, and as he did, his personality changed too. Now of course, most YouTubers start off shy, and then gradually as time goes on, they show more of their personality as they get more comfortable. But this was different. His old videos are either deleted or on private, but if you watch his first video, and then watch the video "Nobody Likes Me, I'm Done," you'll see exactly what I mean. Nick started to realize that creating videos of himself crying and having arguments with his boyfriend would garner attention, and attention on YouTube means money. Now Nick is known on YouTube for some rather strange reasons: his over-the-top and strange persona, and his excessive crying and fighting with his boyfriend. It's not at all rare to see Nick crying in his videos, and he even says in one of his videos that his content consists of him just basically eating and crying on repeat. On the 22nd of September 2021, Nick released an incredibly insensitive video called "I'm Disabled Taco Tuesday," and he has gone on to create a series of them on his channels. In these videos, he talks about how he has cracked one of his ribs and is now disabled. The videos are heavily ratioed. He has stated that he has broken his ribs due to his excessive coughing. Of course, having broken ribs is not a disability, and many who are actually disabled have spoken about their disgust in him claiming so. But in his recent videos, he seems to be walking around just fine, an indicator that he could be lying about this, and that everything he says and does could indeed just be a lie for internet attention. In a recent video, Nick has said he weighs around 320 to 350 pounds, and when he goes out, Nick requires a mobility scooter just to get around, and has claimed that he needs to use this breathing apparatus during the day to breathe properly. He claims that he has been using this breathing machine for some time while he sleeps, and that he uses it now during the day to help him breathe with his cracked ribs. But it begs the question, why is he using it now when his ribs are likely not broken? It's worth mentioning that these machines can be bought online, and I can imagine from the views he receives, he could easily afford one. Wearing one of these in the thumbnail is definitely a way to get more clicks. What I'm about to say is public knowledge, so I'm not revealing anything private about Nick.
I'm a pop star, baby. Yeah, I make it hit today in a fire Mercedes. That's cap, boy, I'm just a kid. Staying at my mom's house, blowing up in Michigan. Boy, I know all my haters on a first name basis. I'm the type to steal the flows from. I think that I've had enough of jealousy instead of tanning. I'm a student in the magic.
I have lost 30 pounds using Noom.
I've lost 97 pounds with Noom.
On a podcast with Trisha Paytas, he has said that he has always wanted attention and always wanted the spotlight. He also told Trisha that he had been prescribed antidepressants when he was just 7 years old, and later as a preteen, he said he was diagnosed with attention deficit disorder and obsessive compulsive disorder. He also told Trisha that he is indeed aware that when he cries in his videos, they get more attention, and thus making him more money. As a YouTuber myself, I know the feeling of seeing those views rise. It certainly does release some dopamine. It's crazy what numbers on a screen can do. It's important as your channel grows to keep yourself grounded. You may start off YouTube creating the kind of content you appreciate and enjoy, but I can imagine for some, the need and want to stay relevant could consume them. Many who have observed this transformation have theorized and speculated that it could have something to do with the fact that Nick knows he can get views and clout from creating this kind of content, but that it comes at a terrible cost. In the process to stay relevant, Nick is slowly killing himself, essentially selling his soul. If Nick is really doing this to stay relevant and for clout, then it speaks to a wider societal issue, and it's still tragic in my opinion. Many people have had great concern for Eugenia Cooney and her struggle with food. Are these two YouTubers comparable in any way? I'm not sure. I guess in some ways they are, as Nick clearly suffers from mental health issues and an unhealthy relationship with food. But if you look at Nick's merchandise, it's obvious that he doesn't really take any of this seriously. He sometimes makes videos claiming that his weight gain is a problem for him that he needs to address, but he never acts on these statements. Instead, he carries on with the mukbang videos. In a video where he is using the breathing apparatus, he says he identifies as skinny and disabled, which just seems to be poking fun at the whole thing. Now, these videos have become part of his online identity, and once something like this becomes someone's identity, it's harder for them to detach themselves from that. If he ceased to create this kind of content, people could potentially stop watching the slow motion train wreck, and for someone who is so seemingly obsessed with attention, that's probably just not an option for them. He has claimed that he will stop when he's 30, and being 29 now, that's very soon, but I doubt that this claim is true. And even if he carries on the way he's going, the only way people will stay interested is if he gets bigger and bigger. But I honestly think that if Nick turned this around, many people would watch his transformation with glee, and he would no longer be known as the man eating himself to death. At this point, Nick could use the money he has made so far and invest it wisely and retire. He could get healthy and live a long life with fewer health complications. Whether he will do this seems unlikely. One thing's for sure, it's certainly eerie watching someone destroy their health and risk death in the pursuit of attention and money. With no sign of Nick stopping in the near future and the way Nick is destroying his body, it is in some way reminiscent of the man who smoked himself to death and documented the whole thing on YouTube for others to see. And many of those people watching had a fetish for watching a man die from smoking. The fact that Nick still gets likes on his videos and comments of encouragement means that most likely people are fetishizing his decline in health and watching him eat and gain weight. And I have no doubt that some people are even getting gratification from watching him slowly eat himself to death too, similar to the smoking video I mentioned earlier. I truly do wish all the best for Nick, and behind his persona, he could be a very nice person. I have no idea. He seemed nice in the early videos, and I hope that none of you will go and leave mean comments on his videos. One of the reasons for making this video is because seeing Nick's story unfold feels like an episode from Black Mirror, and it's left me feeling worried about the future and the chase for dopamine online. In my opinion, it will probably worsen as time continues. Younger and younger people are getting access to these online platforms that deliver dopamine. I can't even imagine just how much it will affect those who have grown up with it their entire life. The story of Nick really shows how these platforms can sometimes exacerbate mental health issues. It's obvious that the kind of content he has created has led him down a dark path of unhappiness. Nick is without doubt a very talented musician. It's upsetting to see that this is the road he is going down when he has such talents. But it really does seem that if Nick carries on the way he is going, he will end up being the man who documented himself eating his way to an early grave.